Welcome to Cool Happenings. Everything I find cool and amazing. Your one-stop channel for all your accessible tech solutions.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon, so you never miss any new updates, cause whenever we upload new video you will get a notification on your phone.
Well, hello gang, welcome back. And today we take off with Apple voiceover gestures. Now, before I begin, just some little, how would you call it, how would I say, some general knowledge or some general info. You may or may not know this already, but Apple voiceover is the world's first ever fully gesture-based screen reader. You may think of voiceover as an audio-based cursor, whereby as you move your finger on the screen, voiceover reads out the apps or the folder located below your finger where you are touching, thereby letting you know which apps you are on right now, and also give you a rough basic idea of your orientation on the screen. Alright, so now I'll start off with one finger voiceover gesture, and in other demonstrations I'll proceed with 2 finger, 3 finger, and finally the 4 finger voiceover gesture. Alright? So for 1 finger gestures, it's fairly and basically very simple and easy to do. All you need to do is to put your finger on the screen and move it around. It's called finger exploration. It's where you put your finger on the screen and slowly move it around the screen while voiceover will read out the app or the folder or the icon located below your finger on the screen where you are currently touching. Alright? So I'll demonstrate this process right now. So I'm going to put my finger on my iPhone screen, and you'll hear voiceover announce the icon, the folder or the app located below the folder where I'm touching. So let's begin. And by the way, this is just called Explore by Touch.
Alt folder, 33 apps.
So as you can see, I touch a folder. The folder is called Health folder. So voiceover announces it as Health folder. It announces it exactly as it's meant to be. So I'm going to explore the screen by just moving my finger on the screen, and as I move my fingers, voiceover will announce what's below my finger. Alright, so let's proceed.
PC games folder, 59 apps, 1 new item. PC games / Android games folder, 47 apps. Color and light detecting folder, 6 apps.
So as you can see, as I move my finger on the screen, voiceover announces where I am, giving me an indication of what apps icon or folder is located on the screen position where I'm touching, and it also gives me an orientation of where I am, a physical representation of my orientation on the iPhone screen. Alright, so by this way we can navigate all the apps located on the screen on our iPhone. So let's just move our finger around the screen, and I repeat, this is called Explore by Touch. So let's explore by touch.
Navigation folder. 13 news folder. BHP blind. Utilities folder. Games folder. PC games / Android games
Okay,
folder.
so that's how
47 apps.
you navigate by touch using one finger voiceover gesture. Now, if you know where an app is, an app or an icon or a folder is on your iPhone screen, you may get to it by directly touching that area or the portion of the screen which you know where the app belongs. So, for instance, I know that my phone app is located somewhere towards the bottom left corner of my iPhone screen, so I may get to it instantly by directly putting my finger towards the bottom left corner of my phone screen. So let's give it a try.
Page 2 of 5. Adjustable. Dock. Phone.
There you go, it said phone, okay? But the phone is located not on the main part of the screen, it's located in the dock. The iPhone screen has three main areas: the status bar, which is located at the very top of your screen, the main screen where most of your apps, well, basically almost all of your apps are located, and the dock. The dock of the iPhone is like, you may consider it like it will be similar to the desktop on your Windows or your Mac's main screen. It basically consists or contains the most used apps you may want to use, and you put it in the dock. So you can shift screens, but the apps in the dock will remain the same at all times. Okay, so you see now the phone is located in the dock. So if I put my finger there,
Page 2 of 5. Adjust dock. Phone.
so there's phone, and as I move right on the dock from the phone app, let's see what else we find.
Frequent folder. 61 apps. 6 new items.
There's a frequent folder.
Native apps folder. 17 apps. 16 new items.
There's another folder called native folder,
Extras folder. 5
and
apps.
there's extras folder. If you notice, besides the phone app, the other three icons on my dock are folders. Now, folders are basically containers, are virtual containers which you create with another using a different voiceover function or operation, which I'll discuss later on. We will discuss this after we finish all the 1 to 4 finger voiceover gestures. Alright, so folders basically allow you to, you can save space. It allows you to save space on your iPhone. You may have hundreds of apps in your iPhone, and you may, if you don't arrange them in folders, you may end up having 10 to 12 pages of iPhone screens with apps. But however, if you arrange them in folders, you save space. I, for instance, have about 350 apps, but I managed to reduce my iPhone screens to only 4 pages, 4 or 4 screens, by putting all my apps into folders, okay, thereby allowing me to save space. And that's it's a very efficient way of saving space, and also allows you to arrange the apps. In my case, at least, I arrange my apps according to use. Okay, so that will be about creating folders, but we'll get into that later on in a later voiceover demonstrations. Alright, so be patient and you will get there soon enough. Don't be afraid, I'll cover everything as much as I can. Alright, so now let's continue. So for instance, if you are on a page, and as I mentioned, if you have many apps, it's rare that we would know exactly where an app is on the screen, right? At least for me it is, and I believe it will be for you too. And exploring by touch, by moving your finger from an app or an icon to icon or to folder or to app would take quite a long time. So to get to an app quickly, VoiceOver has another feature called flicking. It's called flicking. flicking, some people call swiping. It's basically just putting your finger on the screen and doing a flick to the right or flick to the left. It's basically, you can consider it like swiping, which is why some people say swipes. But voiceover gesture terms, or Apple voiceover gesture terms, it's called flicking. So just I'm going to put my finger on the screen now.
Alt folder, utilities folder, 11 apps.
Okay, currently I'm on utilities folder, and instead of navigating by touch, I can just flick from here.
Edit mode. Alt folder, 33 apps.
VoiceOver announces the next app, and I do not need to navigate. I do not need to move my finger on the screen by exploring by touch. I can be right in the same position and move from one app to the other just by flicking right. So let's flick right.
Edit mode. Testing folder, 1 app. Team Talk / TeamSpeak folder, 2 apps. BHP Blind Help Project folder, 104 apps. News folder, 2 apps. Navigation folder, 13 apps. 1 new
So
item.
you can see, I in fact did not move my position on the screen which I'm located. I just flick from where I was, and the voiceover cursor instead moves from app to app or folder to folder on my iPhone screen. That way, allowing me to quickly get through all the apps on my iPhone screen. Alright, so that's how you do it. It's called flicking. Now, when you're at the end of an app, the last app or the first app on the iPhone screen, and if you flick left or right, now I was flicking right, so I move right. The cursor moves right. Now let me get to the
Utilities
top.
folder, 11 apps.
Let me move flick left.
Radio Sports folder, Blindfold series PC games / games folder, 59 apps.
I'm
1 new item.
flicking left.
VIP iOS games folder, travel folder, color and light detecting folder, scanners folder, browsers folder, browsers folder, 4 apps, browsers folder, 4 apps, browsers folder, 4 apps.
You see, there's like a thud. There's a thud sound. Let me flick left one more time.
Browsers folder, 4 apps.
The thud indicates you are either at the beginning of your iPhone screen or at the end, which means there's nowhere else to go. Alright, so remember, the thud sound is a voiceover effect which is trying to give you an indication that you're at the end or the beginning of your iPhone screen. Alright, so that's how it works. If you're at the end, you will hear the same. Let me go directly towards the end of my iPhone screen.
Page 2 of 5. Adjust dock. Phone. Frequent folder. Native apps folder. Extras folder. 5 apps.
Hear the thud?
Extras folder. 5 apps. Extras folder. 5 apps.
The thud indicates you're at the end or the beginning of your iPhone screen. Alright? So what do you do once you're at the end of your screen, right? So let's listen to the thud sound the thud effect one more time.
Edit mode. Extras folder. 5 apps. Extras folder. 5 apps. Extras folder. 5 apps. Speech off.
That sound is
Speech on.
a voiceover effect indicating that you are either at the end of your iPhone screen or at the beginning of your iPhone screen, which means there's nowhere else to go. So from here, the next thing you will want to do is to go to the next page on your iPhone screen. So the process or the operation to go to the next page, there are a few ways to do it, but since we are only in one finger voiceover gesture demonstration, I'll show you how to do it, how to change your iPhone screen using the one finger voiceover gesture. What you do is you find the position on the iPhone screen where it announces the currently your current iPhone page, screen page.
Page 2 of 5. Adjustable.
Also says page 2 of 5. To go to the next page, all you need to do is you do a one finger flick up or one finger swipe up. So let's do a one finger flick up.
Page 3 of 5.
And page 3, let me flick down.
Page 2 of 5.
Page 2.
Page 3 of 5.
Page 3.
Page 4 of 5.
Page 4.
Page 5 of 5.
And page 5. So that's how you flick to go to different pages on your iPhone's screen. There's another quicker way to do it, but I'll get to it once we're on the 3-finger voiceover gesture. So guys, I guess that will be all for, oh yes, I forgot, I totally forgot, forgive me. Okay, anyway, once you are on, as I mentioned, voiceover announces the position of the app you are located on the screen where when you touch by either exploration or by clicking. Now once you are on a particular app, icon or folder, to activate it, you do a 1-finger double tap. So let's find an app or a folder. I have all my apps arranged into folders, so you not hear apps, you just hear the folders. So let's put my finger on the screen and let's see what happens.
Actions available. Page 5 of 5. Adjustable.
Let's go to page 2, back to page 2.
Page 4 of 5. Page 3 of 5. Page 2 of 5.
Okay, so now let's put my finger
Messages.
on the screen.
26 unread messages.
Okay, now I'm in messages. This is the only app. I believe there are 2 apps, messages and another app which I've not placed into folder. So let's put my finger on messages.
Home. Home. Messages. 26 unread messages.
It says messages, voiceover announces the app, and in this case, voiceover also announces notifications that an app may have. So in this case, since it's in messages, voiceover announces the app called messages, and it also announces how many messages I have, unread messages in the messaging app. You see how beautiful voiceover is? It's beautiful, right? Yep. Well, at least to me, voiceover is by far the best screen reader out there. Anyway, in my opinion, it may be different for you, but in my opinion, it's the best. It's the most efficient, the most fastest, and the most responsive screen reader out there for mobile phones, and maybe even combine mobile and also for computers, So okay, so now as I put my finger on messages.
Page 2 of 5. Messages. 26 unread messages.
Now to activate an icon, to open a folder, or to activate an app, all you need to do is you do a 1-finger double tap, which means you 1 finger, you tap, just to tap 2 times. And remember, for guys, I made this mistake many times before. All you need to do is do a 1-finger gentle double tap. It's called a double tap, but you do it gently. You don't need to knock your phone like hitting a nail with a hammer. It doesn't need to be so hard. Even a slight gentle tap, and I'll show you, messages will open.
Messages. 26 unread messages.
Now a 1-finger double tap.
Edit. Messages. Heading.
So your messages has just opened. Okay, so from here you can navigate and read the messages which you have received on your iPhone. So let's close this folder now.
Message.
I'm currently using an iPhone XR, so the gestures are a little different, but they're not so different that it's hard to get yourself acquainted with. It just takes a little time. I purchased my iPhone XR or XR about less than around 2 weeks ago, and I got used to it within the first half an hour. It was quite fast, and you will too once you're used to navigating and going about your iPhone screen using VoiceOver. Alright, so as I mentioned, to activate or to open an app, to activate an app, to open a folder, you just do a 1-finger double tap, which means with 1 finger you tap. You don't need to be very quick. You can have how should I say? It's not too fast, not too slow. It's just a gentle 1-finger double tap or 1 finger 2 times tap on your phone screen, and that's about it. The app or the folder or the icon will be open or activated. That's how you do it. So if you have the phone app,
Page 2 of 5. Dock. Phone.
a 1-finger double tap will activate the phone app.
Phone. Text field. Text field.
So here you can
Phone number. Text field.
navigate your phone app, make calls, place calls, receive calls, But yeah, with different voiceover gestures, there are different operations or functions you can accomplish, and I'll get to those once we are on those voiceover gestures. Alright guys, so I guess that will be all now. I wouldn't want to keep this demonstration going too long, or this recording going too long. We will next proceed with the 2-finger voiceover gesture. Alright, so take care until I see you again in the next demonstration. Have a wonderful and amazing day ahead. See ya.